everyone, and welcome to this month's DIY project. Today it is absolutely glorious on the allotment. I've got my suntan lotion on and I've also brought a parasol from home because it is that warm and it's only May. So yes, today's project is going to be a herb planter. So this is going to be a vertical herb planter, which is going to be perfect for any of you who are wanting to maximise your space, whether that be on a balcony or in a small garden or even in an allotment like mine, because for some reason there is just never enough space to grow your fruit and vegetables. So yes, as I said, this is a herb planter. However, do feel free, you can put it up with strawberries tumbling over, you could do lettuces. There's so much that you could be putting in here aside from herbs. So let's run through all the materials that you're going to need. I have already deconstructed a couple of pallets. These are actually quite thin compared to normal pallets, so maybe you would need less, but basically we're going to be building 3 planters with these. So we've got all of our drill bits. We're actually only going to need the 5mm drill bit from today. We've got a mixture of screws because obviously it all depends on the thickness of your boards. We've got your impact driver, we've got your drill, and then we've got my mitre chop saw, which I absolutely love and use on every project. I couldn't recommend getting that one enough. And then we've got these 2 big slabs of wood here. So these were from I think my shed base still. I'm still getting through some of that wood. And then we've got these smaller thin ones. These are going to be the corners of our boxes, and then these 2 again chunky ones, these are from a pallet. I have got all my pallets deconstructed and I've got my mitre saw here ready to start cutting. So we're going to make this planter 60 centimetres wide by 30 centimetres depth. So we need 18 at 30 centimetres and 18 at 60 centimetres. So I'm going to square up my wood first and then I'm going to get cutting. I've cut all the wood to size and now we're going to start constructing it, but we need to construct it to something. So first you need to get your wood. So these are going to be 3 boards high. So we now need to measure what depth that is to then make some bits to go in the corners. So mine is 210. So I'm going to do them at 200 just so then they finish just below the top line of the planter. And obviously all of these dimensions are going to be dependent on the pallets that you can get hold of. So with any salvage, reclaim project, you do need to measure your own wood to see what size you need, and also then that depends on what screw size that you need. So I've got my thin timbers here. So these are actually 18 by 28mm. And now I'm going to cut these down to the 200mm that I need for the corners. So how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 8, 12. So I need 12 of them. And then instead of measuring each one out, I'm just going to move it along the board and then mark it with a pencil. You can always do this with a handsaw, you can do it with a jigsaw, you can do it with a skill saw, but actually the best thing for this is this, the mitre saw. And can you see there's a little laser there, and that is going to really help you to figure out where you need to be positioning your piece of wood. So you just need to line it up with your pencil mark, and there you go, cut it down, and that is going to be perfect measurements. So now all of that cutting is out of the way, we can start constructing them. So I've got one side here and I've just placed them all so they're butt up to each other and they are all level down the sides. So now we can take our pieces of wood that we've just cut and we're going to position them in the bottom corner like so. And then we're going to get our pilot and we're going to drill through once for each piece of wood. So you can either do this beforehand in a sort of a job lot, so it might be easier now just to put it on the side. So we'll just realign these again. And I've grabbed my screws, as you can see, they come probably about 10mm out, which is going to be perfect to go into these. But again, all pallets seem to be different. You can get different thicknesses of wood, different lengths, absolutely everything. So yeah, make sure you use what is best for your wood. I'm going to start from the bottom. So just like the bug hotel, all of this wood might be bowed, it might be out of shape, it might be bent, so don't worry if it's not too perfect, because by the end of it, it's going to look lovely. And that is what you should end up with. So I'm going to make all of mine like this. So these are going to be the side panels. So we need to make, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, and then we're going to start attaching these ones to it. I have just grabbed 2 of my sides, and now I'm getting those 600 lengths and I'm putting them in between. So we want them nice and flush, so they make a nice corner there. And again, we're going to go in with our pilot. Now, one thing you have to be careful of is obviously what we've got here is a screw here. So we need to screw in either side of here, because obviously it's not going to work if you do it in exactly the same place. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. So I'm gonna, I think it might be easier for me to mark on roughly where I want the screw, so about there. And my pilot. This will get easier as you go on. As I said, just want to get nice and square, and then I'm going to use a thicker screw as well, or sorry, a longer screw, not a thicker screw. Because now we're going through that 28mm rather than 18. There we go, and you want to keep doing this, building it up on both sides. There is one herb box done. So we're going to make 3 of these in total. So when I've finished making the other 2, I shall come back and show you what to do with the base of them. I have done another blue Peter and actually finished a couple of the boxes, and I'm going to show you how to finish the third. So first we need a base for the box. So I am using 12mm plywood, so this can be used indoors and outdoors. I'm going to use a skill saw for this because this is going to be the easiest way to cut this. However, do remember you can use a normal saw, you can use a jigsaw, but yeah, this is definitely the easiest way. The bit that we need. So all I did to do that was measure the planter and cut it to size. Just going to place that on top. Feels like we're making a bit of a coffin, but we're not, do not worry. And now we're just going to screw this together. So getting some long screws again. I'm not doing a pilot hole this time. I'm just going to go straight in. I'm not going too close to the corners either, because the wood will split. It's only thin pallets. I'm going to put 4 screws down either end and 3 this side, because this will be holding the weight of the compost, so you don't want it to break. Now the next thing we need to do is go back to the plastic sheeting that I used for the bee hotel behind me, and we're going to staple this in. So this is going to line the planter, so when you put your soil in there it's not going to rot instantly. Right. I'm just going to staple this in place. Of your 3 boxes are complete, we're going to start making this vertical. So the top one, I'm going to turn it over so it's on its back, this upside down, and then these are the pieces of wood that I'm going to be using. to skew it to. So this is going to be upright. I'm just going to move that along, and I'm going to get some big screws to go through both this and then the planter, and we're going to put in probably 4 screws on each side, because yeah, this is going to be holding all of the weight. And now I'll do the other side. So this wood, I think it's just over 1 metre tall. It's not too, I wouldn't go any smaller than that, but it's not too necessary to worry about the size. It's more just making sure that these two are the same. So let's tip it over. So that there is the top of our planter. Now we want to focus on the diagonal pieces that are going to hold all 3 planters together. So what we need to do is we need to get our timber and then put a 45-degree angle on one of the ends. So I'm just going to turn my mitre saw around like that, pop it in there, and we're just going to go right from the corner to wherever that ends up. This is going to go right up to your planter like that. So we need to put some screws into here and some pilot holes. This is the tricky bit. Now you can get a clamp and clamp it off. That's probably the easiest way to do that, but I haven't got one of them down here and I don't have a person to help me. So it's going to be a bit of trial and error. And then I've just got to do the other side. And this is where it gets a little precarious. So basically I'm doing this on uneven ground, which isn't ideal, and I'm doing it by myself, which again isn't ideal. You probably need 2 people for this step. So I've just positioned this one wedged in between this wood and the one at the bottom level on the floor, or as level as it can be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my level actually, and I'm not going to worry too much levels this way and this way, only because I know that the ground that it's on isn't level. However, I am going to worry about whether it's level this way. So take your time, get this bit right, because it will make it a lot easier in the long run. And yes, I'm going to now screw in the side into this piece of wood here. Now that I've got these 2 screws in, I have checked for level the other way now, and I have packed it up to make it level. Now this, if we move this up or down like that, that changes the level there. So basically we want to adjust this until it's level in the middle there, and it's right there, and then we're going to screw that in place. We are so close to having it finished, aren't we, Olive? Literally Olive's done nothing today. She has been in the run because it's been too hot for us, so she's been in the shade. Haven't you, darling? Now you can come out. So next part is to put the middle one in. So this should snugly fit. It shouldn't be loose, which is probably going to help me position it and get it to stay there while I'm going to screw it together. So I'm going to try and video this, and I shall come back to you in a moment. This is my absolute favourite part, which is filling it up and planting into it. So I'm going to fill the bottom. I've run out of gravel, so I'm going to use some of Olive's oyster shell grit, which is basically part of her diet, and she's not going to eat it all. So I've put some drainage holes in the bottom of here. Now I'm just going to grab some of the oyster shell. I have added some compost into here, just some normal multi-purpose compost. Haven't filled it all the way up because I am using pots, so we're going to have to dig some back to put it in, but I have got some more compost to fill it up. So I've got just a standard thyme here. This was bought from the supermarket. I have some chives, some parsley. I've got lemon verbena, which is absolutely amazing in teas. And then I've got lots of mint. I've got 2 varieties, and I would never ever ever plant mint into the open ground, which is what's in a pot now. Mint suckers absolutely everywhere, and you will not be able to get rid of it in your garden. And then next up, I have some French tarragon. You can also get Russian tarragon, but I prefer the French tarragon. Then I've also got some lemon thyme as well, which smells absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to use these in some cooking because I just find herbs bring out a dish really well. So I'm going to put all the mint together, and then I'm going to split up the rest and plant these out. And there we have it, one herb planter that pretty much costs nothing. I am pretty impressed with that. So we've got the mint at the top, we've got chives, parsley and French tarragon, and then we've got a chicken. Olive, you are not meant to be in there. Oh, she's cheeky. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and please do head over to the blog where you'll find all the exact dimensions and ways that you can alter this depending on the space that you've got.